What is this? 08 Solstice?
Yes. 2008 Solstice GXP.
It's not my car, so I'm just kind of helping out as like a, you know...
Hired hand.
Hired hand on the project.
Paid without money.
That's right. 2008 Solstice.
My wife's.
My wife's. GXP Turbo. But what we're doing today is upgrading the audio system. Got some Polk's door speakers. We've already put in the tweeters up on the pillars here. And then we're going to have some back speakers that are in these side panels. Well, so first thing for this one is this whole door panel has to come off. We have to disconnect the electricity for the window and the lock, and then disengage the cable for the handle. And then we'll be able to take the whole thing off, and there'll be at least one connection, so we'll just kind of slide underneath.
So show us where the screws locations are first.
So there's a little panel in here that you take that panel out, and that's your first screw to come out. And then if you just kind of run your hand around, you'll see that there's only one other screw right there. That'll release that panel off, and then we'll be able to start taking out the wire connections. What's holding this in place once you get these off is a bunch of, you know, basically clips that compress into a tighter space, so it's gonna like pop off.
And that's just a Phillips screwdriver.
Yep, Phillips head screwdriver. Smaller gauge. And I'm putting this down just since we're on a concrete driveway. When I slide the panel down, it'll be the face that you see will be down, so you don't want to damage it, scrape it up or anything. So now you just kind of, if you do have a separator tool, but you can typically get in just a bit and just kind of give it a yank. Oh, I missed one. I forgot about this one. There's a panel here, and this is all clips. So you just need a little separator tool.
Rain.
There's a panel here, and I've pried it up with my little pry tool here. It gets real slender, so you can kind of fit it in without scraping up your interior. And then you just kind of work your hands in, and then each one of these corresponds to a spot in there. Take that off. You want to try and be gentle so you don't break any clips. And then you got two 7mm bolts in here. So you need an extender. So it's right here, and you pop those guys out, and then the rest of this comes out. And use the extender so that you keep your wrench away from your interior trim, and then drop things. But most importantly, you don't want to be scraping this up, because for the most part, it's plastic. So if you scrape it up, you're never buffing it out. And the other thing with these, you're going to take the whole door off in a minute anyway, but you got to be careful because they could just drop on the inside of your door. And if it drops in a spot that you know is not easy to reach, you're going to be fighting with a pair of tongs or something to get it inside, because there's an interior cavity that's beyond this exterior piece that we're going to take off. All right, so done and done. So like I was saying earlier, this sits on like a ridge, so we're going to kind of lift and pull, because the whole thing's just going to pop off. And just kind of work your way around. I felt the first one pop. And don't be alarmed. Those are all plastic little rivets that pop. You have to lift it over your lock, and then in here there's a cable that connects to your handle. So that's the first one. You gotta lift that out, and once I get it out, I'm able to show you there, and that just fits into this, snaps into place. And then the next step is we start to bring this down, and you can see we have for the lock mechanism and then for the window motor. So both of those have to just be disconnected. And the one on that side had additional, because it has the side view mirror controls on it as well. But this one, down. I'm just kind of wrestling with it a little bit. Oh, there it is. So there's a little spot here to depress. And I'll let this whole piece come out. If I can get my screwdriver in there right. And there you have it. That's your door. Alright, so grab my impact driver just because it'll be a little faster. And just kind of pop out the 4 screws. That is a stock speaker. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to disconnect it. This, and then quite literally pop this down, and it just wiggles right out. That's it. Now we just got the new speaker. We've already attached the female end into the new speaker. It's wired it in, and just had to make the connection with some electrical tape. Now we connect that, put new speaker in, bolt it in place. All right, so the missus for her car picked out some high performance Polk speakers, way above what was the stock speakers. So wired in just from the connections here, and then connected onto the female side here, so that it matches what was in this, so we don't have to change too much of the wiring.
And this was ordered from Crutchfield, so it kind of tells you what works with your system already.
Exactly. So now we basically slide it in, and then you have your 4 points here, and we'll connect this up and show you how to put your door back together. Okay. All right, so I would recommend making sure that you get everything lined up as well as you can, and then getting in your bottom screws first, just because these are open-ended. There's no hole, like it doesn't close off the hole, so you're depending on gravity a little bit here.
And don't touch the speaker.
Yes, do your best not to ruin that beautiful new speaker. Kind of like our dog ruined my screwdriver. But I got the bottom ones in, and fairly snug, so it's pretty much in place. So now just snug up the last 2, and then we'll start reassembling the door. Going in with the way you took it off, so the last things I did were the connector for the Windows motor in, and you want to be able to lock and unlock your door in, and you can see the new speaker is in and ready to go. And then we have to reconnect in your cable, this, and then I'll show you the finished product. All right, it's back in place. Now you just have to put in 2 bolts here, one up here behind the handle, and one on the outside, and you're done.